Hello and welcome back to Spiritual Warrior Tarot. I am here doing the 12 zodiac sign readings for the month of April 2021. This reading will be for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and this is going to be a general read, so it's not going to fit with everybody. So take what fits your situation, leave what doesn't, and check your birth chart for other prominent signs and check out those readings. And remember that we all have male and female energy within us, so there's no need to get hung up on the gender of the cards. When I was doing my meditation, I kind of felt a little bit overwhelmed at first, and then I basically saw the crab kind of like, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, and then I heard looking for solutions in all the wrong places. So that could be for a specific person. It could be it is very general, but, take that where it fits, I guess. And so I will be getting one card for you from here and then doing the journey reading like I have been doing. So let's get you a card as your overall Cancer. Spirit, please give me a card for Cancer. 2021. Okay, so Cancer, you have thought, and this is all about exactly that, thought, and kind of determining, taking inventory and assessing where you usually go in terms of thought and how you think about things. And haven't done this, but I'm getting asked to read this, and I literally just said it. Okay, so somebody needs to hear this. So thought, reality, power, attention, focus, attraction, positivity, negativity, and universal law. And so the phrases for this are: thought creates reality, thought is the foundation of consciousness, don't rush your thinking, be certain, thought is energy, energy flows where attention goes, be mindful of universal laws, are your conscious and unconscious mind in accord? Be realistic instead of optimistic or pessimistic. Good and bad go hand in hand. Change your mind, change your life. Do not overthink or speculate. Question the critical mind, speak. That's what it was. I always get like a confirmation and when I'm guided to read, I'm like, there's something in here and I'm gonna figure it out, why I was being guided. And that's when I question the critical mind speak that you have, Cancer. So let's see. Thought is at the very foundation of consciousness, and some would suggest that without consciousness we would not be human, and thoughts create reality. So this is really about, like I started to say, taking inventory about how you think and whether you think in a positive manner or like in a confident, compassionate, positive manner, or if you're thinking in like a negative, critical, and judgmental manner. So let's see. There's something. The thought card in the present represents a time to really see and appreciate the power of the thoughts that dwell within you. So that's, So that's kind of like when I saw Cancer, kind of like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Maybe, and how I heard you're looking for solutions in all the wrong places. Maybe that's because you're just like stuck here. You're like, there's something about the way that you're thinking, Cancer, that's really hanging you up. And I haven't done this, but I literally just heard get a clarifier, so just bear with me. Why is this here for Cancer? Okay, so Libra's here at the bottom, which is telling me that balance is trying to happen for you. But the clarifier cards that you got, Cancer, for this is the Devil and then the Eight of Pentacles. And so I see that there's a negative attachment to the way that you're doing something. Maybe the way that you're operating. Because Eight of Pentacles is like, you know, the Devil is unhealthy attachments. So unhealthy attachments to substances or people or the way that you're thinking or the way that you're behaving. And with the Pentacles here, I really feel like this is how your thought is like you're negatively attached to your thought and the like basically what you think is going to result into how you take action and what you do, because this comes first. So there's a negative attachment to the way that you're doing something, and I think that stems from how your thought process works and how you, like, where your focus lies when you're thinking about things. Like, are you mainly thinking about the negative aspect of things and worrying? Or are you kind of optimistic and realistic and kind of like looking at things like the glass is half full and how can I use this to my best ability or my best advantage, or how can I take advantage of this in the best way? Like, those are all more positive ways of thinking. And with these here, I just feel like your thought, you really need to assess where you are and where your mind goes, because it's somehow keeping you negatively attached to the way that you're behaving or acting or how you're going about things. The Eight of Pentacles is like work, but it's also like working with your hands and fixing things, but like you're doing. So that's like what I'm getting. Like, I feel like there's a hang up in how you think about things, and it's keeping you negatively attached to, some of you, maybe this is a job. But in a general sense, I feel like this is like you're negatively attached to the way that you're doing things because of where your thought begins and where it naturally lies. So that was a little long-winded explanation, but that was very strongly coming through, and I heard that very loudly. Just clarify this card. So let's get into your journey reading, Cancer, and see what comes out. All right. Spirit, please give me a journey reading for Cancer in the month of April 2021. Oh, why am I having such a hard time with this right now? Okay, so at the bottom of the deck, Cancer, we have the Moon. This is about fears and anxieties and unknowns. And, you know, a lot of the times we're afraid to change things in our lives because it's unknown. We don't know what's on the other side of after we make a change, and that's really, really scary for us. But this is also good to be here. Like, the Moon is... So Pisces is the moon card, or the moon card. Like, Pisces is ruled by the moon, but Cancer is also ruled by the moon. So if you're having doubts and fears, really going within yourself into a quiet, dark place, not dark as in sad, but I mean like into the void within you, in a quiet space where you're alone and connect to your emotions, like the moon will shine a light on your subconscious, and help you to get rid of those shadows and those fears. Okay, so the first 3 cards are the leaving cards, and they show what you're leaving behind. And sometimes they represent 3 indistinct things, but more often than not, I just get a story of things. And sorry, okay, and okay, so first out, we have the 2 of Swords. This is at a crossroads, not being able to make a decision about something. You're not seeing clearly. You're not listening to your heart, and you're not seeing with your intuition or your third eye, because there's a heart there and then a flower. One swan has a flower, and then the other swan is near the heart that's hanging in the tree. And they say, open your eyes and see, and open your heart and feel. That's how you're going to be able to make the decision and go forward, because with being here, it's like this is stagnant energy. This is not being able to make a decision, so you're in the same place and you're kind of not moving. Then we have 4 of Cups. This is about missing an opportunity, because you've separated yourself, and you're wallowing, kind of like all your focus is in your woe is me and like what's wrong, and not feeling like you're ready to accept something, because these beings kind of represent spirit or your guides trying to come in and bring you emotional fulfillment, but because you're here and you're like down here, you're not seeing it and you're not accepting it, because you're just staying here in this type of energy, and that could cause you to miss an opportunity. And then we have the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is very confident, very sure of himself, very passionate, goes after what he wants. And he's like, the King of Wands is not an arrogant type of energy. Like, he's very confident, but this is the type of person that if they're like working on a project with people, they're very like, even if they are the leader in the project, they're not cocky or arrogant. They're not going to be like, oh, I'm better than you because I'm at this position. Like, the King of Wands energy is like, we're all going to work together. Nobody's better than or worse than anybody. We're all going to work together to achieve this goal. And that, you know what I mean? And so like what I feel with all of these 3 cards, I feel like maybe what you're leaving is being in this stagnant energy where you're kind of only focused on your sadness and like what's wrong, and not being able to make a decision on something because you're like not accepting, you're like kind of blocking things from coming in, and you're not accepting them because like you think you're not ready, but you really aren't, because sometimes you're not. If you're sitting there like in a regular tarot deck, the 4 of Cups looks like somebody like this. They're blocking the emotional fulfillment from coming in, so they're gonna like miss an opportunity. They think they're not ready, they're alone, and that's kind of what this is. It's like she's looking down, she's just kind of focused on like, man, she's not accepting anything. So I feel like you're being guided to leave this energy behind and to step into this very confident, very self-assured, very passionate energy where you go after what it is that you want and you're not afraid to. So I'm happy to see this here, the way that it lies. It's like, this is where you were, but this is what you're coming into. And the why you're being led on this journey makes complete sense. You have the Death card here, Cancer. This is all about transformation and rebirth, allowing the old things that don't work for you or that keep you stuck, letting them burn and being reborn from the ashes like a phoenix, like in the card here. And so I see that, like, your guides, and the purpose of this journey for you is to go through this death and rebirth cycle, because you've been in this energy, and they want you to go through this death and rebirth to come into this King energy. And then the star, or the light, like in the lantern leading you down this path, we have Temperance. Cancer, this is the Sagittarius card, but this is like about patience. This is about healing. This is about balance. And as you see the blue and yellow there, like, so you see she's holding that globe and it looks like the yin and the yang. So the masculine and the feminine, that represents she's sitting alone. She's taking time to heal and balance her masculine and feminine. And you see them come out up here and they're like dancing with each other in a healthy way. And so that's why they want you to go, like, as you go on this journey to be reborn and go through this transformation, it gives you balance and healing and patience. And then the challenge for you is the Two of Wands, Cancer. And this is about stepping up into your authority and being an authority figure and not backing down. And also in the book, it talks about this is a time to be bold, not to shy away and hide, but this is a time to be bold and inventive and go after what it is that you want. This is a very strong, like I said, authoritative. It's like stepping into your power energy. So that's going to be the challenge for you, is really taking the stand and moving into your authority and into your authoritative nature. And then the outcome or destination, we have the King of Swords. So this is really good. Another king for you, Cancer. So again, don't get hung up on the gender of the cards. This is just an energy. But I see and you know what? For some of you, maybe you were in this energy where you were like kind of just having fun, and I feel like, oh God, I feel like a very type of nonchalant energy with this, like a nah, like, it's weird because the King of Wands is very like in control. And I feel like this is just a select few. Like maybe you were like kind of just focusing on the things that were making you happy and distracting you from like the decision you had to make. That's just for some of you, not for all of you. But I see they're wanting you to come into this kingly type of energy where you're in control of yourself. And the King of Swords is all about truth, clarity, and communication. And so this is an energy of like knowing your truth and speaking it without fear and standing up for yourself and like being very direct and forthright. So for some of you, I see that like maybe with this transformation that you go through, you're going to be able to stand in your power and really communicate what it is that you want and what you need, especially with this here. Like you're not being able to make a decision. This is like you've made the decision and you're speaking it like very strongly with no fear. And like I'm feeling that very strongly for some of you. Like that's where they want you. They want you to also do things and communicate in a new way as well. So let's get some clarifiers. Okay, well, again, so the Death card is at the bottom here again. So you really need it. There's a transformation that you really need to go through and stop like fighting yourself. Wow. Okay, let me not go too far. But the card that came out clarifying the Two of Swords is the Lovers. So for a lot of you, this is a relationship that something about a relationship where you weren't able to make a decision about something. The Lovers is also choice. So really like you need to make a choice, like basically. And you know, maybe not all of you this has to do with a relationship. If it doesn't have to do with a relationship for you, this is really about saying like you need to really make choices and stand in that and stop allowing yourself to sit in this like energy where you're not making any decisions. You know, sometimes this is like you can't see, you don't have all the information, but this is really like you need to open your eyes and your heart so that you can make these choices for yourself in a good way. But, you know, for the other half of you, this is a decision regarding a relationship. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Oh boy. So I see the Eight of Swords, like you're feeling really stuck. And then the Six of Cups came out, clarifying the Four of Cups. So this really is a relationship for most of you. I'm going to say the Six of Cups is like a past life relationship or a relationship from the past in general. Sometimes it can represent children too, but this is like generally this is like the past in relationships. Very strong soulmate bond, especially with the Lovers here. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is definitely a relationship. I see the Two of Pentacles here, which is juggling. Maybe the decision is between two people, or maybe you've been going back and forth. This represents like kind of going back and forth on something. And then clarifying the King of Wands. What we have here, Cancer, is the Ace of Cups and then the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands, very fast moving knight. In terms of a relationship though, the Knight of Wands sometimes is like a player. Like comes in and makes the partner feel really, really good and then they're gone again. But what I'm feeling with this, with the Ace of Cups, I'm feeling like there's really strong new love here, and that's what they want you to go after. Like they want you to step into this king energy where you're confident and not afraid to go after what you want and really take action towards this new love, because Ace of Cups is new love. And maybe that's for some of you, if it's not a relationship, it's like new love for yourself. But it kind of definitely is a relationship reading with the Lovers and the Six of Cups, and then you have Ace of Cups. So I really feel like they're wanting you to like leave this stagnant energy behind and really take action, because with the Four of Cups being here, it's like basically saying, hey, you're about to miss an opportunity with a really strong soulmate bond relationship. So go after it so you can get this beautiful overflowing cup of love and emotional fulfillment. Okay. Why is the Death card here? Wow. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. So I see the star poking out. So purpose and having faith and hope and believing in yourself. And then the two cards that came out, clarifying the Death card, which is that rebirth and transformation. We have strength in the Wheel of Fortune. So Cancer, this is really good. This tells me like you have the strength, even if you don't feel like you do, you have the strength to go through this transformation and come out and be very fortunate. And this card, the Wheel of Fortune, is like good luck and good news coming, but it's definitely divine timing at play. So like what I'm seeing with this is like it is time for you to go through this transformation. And maybe like whatever this was where you were at, where you were like stuck, couldn't make a decision, and really stagnant. Like I feel like they're wanting you to go through this transformation because they're saying it's time. It's time for you to come out of this, let divine timing turn that wheel for you and come into your strength after you go through this transformation. It's really going to bring you strength and fortune. So this is really good. Wow. Okay. Okay. So Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment is showing itself now. What I was clarifying was temperance. So, that's the light like leading you down this path. Patience, healing, balance, going with the flow. Three of Cups came out. So celebration and reunion and wish fulfillment. So what this tells me is when you're able to heal and balance and go with the flow, you're going to be celebrated, or you're going to come into reunion with this past relationship, and it's going to bring you so much wish fulfillment. Wow. And the Ace of Pentacles underneath that. So just showing me that there will be a very stable foundation in that for you, Cancer. So very good. Very, very good. Okay. So, Ten of Wands is here, showing me that there's a lot of heavy things weighing on you and that you need to put that down, because this is about putting down burdens. And then okay, so the challenge is this Two of Wands. So stepping up into your power and your authoritative nature and being an authority in your life and really not being shy and being bold and going towards what it is that you want. That's the challenge for you. And I see that you're fighting the call, like, okay, so the Five of Swords is like a battle, and this is like you've come out on top. You know, there's the two swords here, and then the two people are running away in the background, and you have the sword in your hand. And so like you've won this fight. And then we have Judgment here, which is another card of rebirth. This is like hearing the call from like your angels or your guides, like literally trying to get you to come up out of this darkness that you are in or were in. And so I'm kind of getting a couple of things, like basically if you hear, like, you don't need to be afraid to step up into your courage and your authority for your life, because if you follow this call, you will come out on top. You will win this fight. And maybe it's a battle within yourself, because swords is mental air energy. So maybe you've been like fighting yourself or like fighting other people, and it's kind of keeping you distracted. But like what I'm getting is like if you hear the call and you allow yourself to be rebirthed and to be renewed, you're gonna like win this fight. Whether it's like, especially with the Two of Pentacles showing up, maybe there's like another person involved, you know, like I'm kind of feeling mostly that maybe it was like an inner battle within you, but it could also be somebody actually out in your environment who affects you. And maybe you have to like fight for, maybe this is saying like you got to fight for this, but like you're going to be fine, you know. But I just really feel like they're saying if you answer the call and you step up into your authority and you're bold and you go after these things, you're going to come out renewed and you're going to be on top and win this fight. Oh, these cards are jumping. All right. Two of Pentacles, still at the bottom. There's a real need for you to stop going back and forth on something, Cancer. Okay. Okay, so this is what came out first. So the Death card is here again. So there's a definite need for you to allow a transformation to happen within you, Cancer, especially with this Thought card here with the Devil and the Eight of Pentacles. It's like you're really attached to a way of thinking and being and acting, and that really needs to be transformed, because that's old you. And you need to pay attention to how your thoughts are affecting you and where your thoughts sit. Do they sit in a positive energy or a negative energy? But there needs to be very strongly coming through. You need to transform. And then we have the Seven of Wands, and this is about defending yourself, standing your ground, blocking. I really feel like feels like, okay, some of you need to stop blocking this transformation from happening, but for others of you, I feel like it's saying, allow this transformation to happen and then stand your ground and walk away from things that don't serve you anymore. Because the Eight of Cups is about walking away from the old in search of more. Like most of the time this is like a spiritual journey, but it doesn't have to be. But this is really like, he has all of these things here, but he's still not fulfilled. There's something missing, so he's leaving these behind to go after that which is missing, which is usually like a spiritual connection, or it's usually happens when we have gotten all the things that we thought were going to make us happy and then they didn't. And so then we go on another journey of finding that part that's missing. So I'm feeling like, allow this transformation to happen, then stand your ground and go after, like walk away from things that don't make you happy so that you can find what's missing. And oh yeah, especially with the Seven of Wands showing up over the King of Swords, it's like, stand your ground and speak your truth and communicate it without fear. And if you allow this transformation to happen, that fear won't be there, and you will be able to speak your truth with clarity and without any type of fear. And you'll go after those things. Maybe there's a strong spiritual connection with this relationship with this person. So Cancer, those are your messages. I hope this was helpful in a general sense. What I'm feeling is like, you really, really need to go through this transformation and check your thoughts. Check where your thoughts sit. Like, are they holding you back? Especially with these two cards here. It's almost like, okay, check your thoughts. There needs to be a revision of what you're attached to and how you're operating and how you're doing things. And it'll lead you to whatever this relationship is here. I mean, with Strength and the Wheel of Fortune and the Lovers here and Judgment, and then you got Three of Cups and Six of Cups. Like, you have so many good cards, Cancer. This is just saying, to get to this happy ending and to get to this point where you're able to be very direct and communicate your truth, you need to go through a transformation, because your thoughts are keeping you in this negative cycle of behaving and acting and doing. So those are your messages. Again, Cancer, I hope this was helpful. Please let me know down in the comments if it was helpful. If it was not, please check your birth chart for other prominent signs and check out those readings as well. And take care. I will see you soon, Cancer.